Imagine a quiet hospital. Nurses are moving, doctors are checking charts. Everything is normal and safe. Suddenly, every screen turns red. A countdown timer begins. Access to patient records? Gone. Your life-saving surgery? Canceled. Not because of a medical error, but because of a few lines of code. This isn't a movie plot or a far-fetched cyberpunk nightmare. This actually happened. In May 2017, the world met its digital match. It was called WannaCry. It wasn't just a virus. It was a digital wildfire that held over 200,000 computers hostage. 150 countries were affected. From the UK's National Health Service to the German railways, everything just stopped. It was a global ransom note that couldn't be ignored. But how did a few lines of code become more dangerous than a physical bomb? To understand that, we need to talk about a group of mysterious digital thieves, the shadow brokers. You see, the tools used for WannaCry weren't actually made by common criminals. They were stolen from the National Security Agency, the NSA, a weapon called EternalBlue. EternalBlue took advantage of a secret vulnerability in Windows that the NSA had been keeping to themselves. Microsoft had released a patch, but millions of computers, especially in hospitals, were still running old, unpatched software. The stage was set for a disaster. The virus was about to wake up, and it was hungry. The digital plague. How a government secret almost broke the internet. In the world of cybersecurity, there is something called a zero-day, a bug that even the creators don't know about. Think of it as a secret backdoor to a house that the owner doesn't know exists. Usually, when hackers find one, they use it. But the NSA didn't report this one. They decided to keep it in their secret digital vault for their own use. They essentially had a master key to millions of computers worldwide, a key they called EternalBlue. Then, in 2016, everything changed. A group called the Shadow Brokers hacked the NSA and stole the vault. They tried to auction the stolen tools for millions of dollars in Bitcoin. But interestingly, nobody bought them. In a fit of frustration, they did something far worse. They leaked the entire collection online for free. Now, anyone with a laptop and bad intentions had access to a military-grade cyber weapon. Specifically, a group believed to be the Lazarus Group, linked to North Korea, picked up the weapon. But EternalBlue was just a way to get in. They needed a payload, a reason to break in. They chose ransomware. Ransomware is simple. It encrypts your files, making them unreadable, and demands money for the key. Your photos, your work, your hospital records, locked away behind a wall of math you can't break. By combining a military-grade break-in tool with a greedy ransom payload, they created a monster. On May 12, 2017, they pressed the button. And the internet caught a cold it couldn't shake. Most viruses are like vampires. They need you to invite them in by clicking a suspicious link or opening an attachment. But WannaCry was different. It was a worm. It didn't need your permission. It didn't need you to do anything. Once inside a single computer, it immediately started scanning the entire network for its next victim. Imagine a thief who enters a hotel and instead of robbing one room, immediately tries every single door in the hallway, all at the same time. And because of the NSA's EternalBlue, it had the master key for almost every door. It used a protocol called SMB, which is basically just the way computers talk to things like printers and servers. To WannaCry, this friendly conversation was a wide open window it could jump through. Because millions of systems were unpatched, there were no guards, no one to stop the worm from moving. Within seconds, one single infected laptop could shut down an entire car factory or lock every MRI machine in a city's hospital system simultaneously. It was a digital blackout. This speed was the nightmare. By the time human IT experts realized what was happening, it was already too late. WannaCry didn't move in hours or days. It moved in milliseconds. A global pandemic at the speed of light. The news headlines were terrifying. Major companies, government agencies, even police stations, all locked out. The creators had unleashed something they couldn't control. A digital wildfire with no way to put it out. It seemed like the internet was doomed. Until a 22-year-old in a small UK town stumbled upon a secret. Enter Marcus. He wasn't a government agent or a high-paid consultant. He was just a 22-year-old researcher in his bedroom. While the world's biggest companies were losing millions, Marcus was doing what he always did, dissecting digital monsters. He noticed something very strange buried deep inside the WannaCry code. A hidden request. It was a long string of random letters ending in .com. It didn't belong to any company. It didn't even exist. Out of curiosity, Marcus decided to register the domain himself. It cost him just $10.69. He thought he was just tracking where the virus was going. He didn't realize he had found the monster's weakness. You see, the creators had built in a kill switch. If the virus could talk to this specific website, it would shut itself down. The moment Marcus activated the domain, millions of infected computers around the world pinged his $10 website. And like a magic spell, the spread stopped. The monster was put back in its cage. In hospitals from London to Beijing, the red screens finally vanished. The immediate crisis was over. Marcus Hutchins had saved the world for $10.69. But why was such a powerful weapon so easy to stop? Some think the creators wanted a way to stop it. Others think the kill switch was meant to hide from researchers. The battle had been won, but the war for our digital safety was just beginning. Let's look at the damage. The kill switch was a miracle, but it wasn't a reset button. The world was left with a bill totaling roughly $4 billion. The UK's NHS was hit hardest, losing £92 million as almost 20,000 life-altering appointments were simply erased. But here's the strangest part. For all that destruction, the hackers barely made a profit. Only about $140,000.
All right, folks, behind me is the NSA vault. And honestly, I'm told to keep this brief because even I don't want to know what's inside.
The code wasn't just similar, it was identical to tools used by the Lazarus Group, the elite cyber unit of North Korea. WannaCry wasn't just a prank, it was a state-sponsored attempt to raise cash for a nation under heavy sanctions. By December 2017, the US and UK officially blamed North Korea. It was the first time a country was named for a ransomware attack. But the question remained, if North Korea built the bomb, who left the materials out for them to find? The blame was a circle. A cycle of government secrets, accidental leaks, and opportunistic attackers. WannaCry wasn't the last attack of its kind. In fact, it was just the prototype for a new era of digital warfare. Less than a year later, an even more destructive virus called NotPetya followed the same path. The biggest takeaway? Your annoying software updates are actually digital vaccines. Don't skip them. Because in a world connected by code, we are only as safe as our weakest link. Stay updated and stay curious. Don't forget to subscribe to help us keep making these deep dives. Thanks for watching! The WannaCry disaster forces us to ask a difficult question. Why did the NSA have a master key in the first place? Governments argue they need these tools to catch criminals and foreign spies. They see digital flaws as weapons of intelligence. This is the vulnerabilities equities process. When the NSA finds a hole in Windows, they have a choice. Choice A, tell the software maker, the hole gets patched and every computer in the world becomes safer. Choice B, keep it secret. This allows the government to break into any computer they want, but it leaves the door open. The problem with choice B is that a secret is only a secret until someone else finds it or steals it. When the weapon was leaked, it wasn't just an intelligence failure, it was a global safety crisis. In a world of cyber warfare, the line between offensive weapon and public hazard is dangerously thin. But so far, no major superpower has signed it. The temptation of a zero day is just too great, and so the arms race continues. Our computers remain the battlefield for wars we never signed up for. But while governments play games, you have a role too. Your security isn't just about you, it's about all of us. Because in a world of worms and exploits, one patched computer is one less door for the monster to enter. In August 2017, Marcus flew to Las Vegas for a major hacker conference. To the community, he was a superstar, but as he waited to board his flight home, the FBI pulled him aside. The hero was now a suspect. The man who stopped WannaCry was being arrested for a crime he committed years before he became a hero. As a teenager, Marcus had written a piece of malware called Kronos. Its goal was simple: steal banking logins. The internet was divided. Was he a criminal who got caught? Or a brilliant mind who turned his life around? During the trial, the judge noted his extraordinary role in stopping WannaCry. He had paid his debt to society 10 times over. He was sentenced to time served and supervised release. He was free to go, and free to keep helping protect the world. His story reminds us, the line between a hacker and a security expert is often just a change of heart. Many of today's defenders started as curious kids poking at systems. The goal is to point that curiosity toward building, not breaking. But as we move forward, the hackers are getting smarter. They are no longer just using human brains. Imagine a virus that can rewrite its own code to bypass security, or an AI that can find a million 0 days in seconds. The good news? We are building AI defenders too. A digital immune system that never sleeps. WannaCry was a wake-up call for the world. It showed us that in a connected world, we are all in this together. So keep your systems updated, your eyes open, and your curiosity ethical. Until next time, we live in a world built on a foundation of code that is often older and more fragile than we'd like to admit. WannaCry was a warning shot. It showed us that a single mistake in a government lab can ripple across the entire planet. The next attack won't wait for us to be ready. It's a race between those who break systems and those who build them. Speaking of staying curious, today's video is supported by Brilliant.org. Brilliant helps you master concepts through interactive puzzles. You don't just watch, you solve. Like a digital detective. Go to the link in the description to start your free trial. The first 200 people get 20% off their annual subscription. Now, back to the bigger picture. Understanding our world is the first step to protecting it.